Welcome back to the channel, guys. As you can see here, and I'm sure you saw in the title and thumbnail of this video, we're putting a new ESC in the no prep car today. I sent the RS Pro Black to Tekin and it wasn't able to be saved. Apparently it wasn't in warranty anymore either, so instead of spending over 150 bucks on a new ESC from them without a warranty, I started looking at some other options. This Maclan DRK has been really popular recently, so popular that I couldn't even find one for a good little while. With some help, I ended up finding one, got it in, and I'm really excited to get it in the car today. As well as installing the ESC, I'm also going to change up that gear, and I mentioned I had ordered another spur gear. This is the 84 tooth spur, and I also have a set of smaller pinions that came in to try out a couple different options. I also picked up a new top shaft for the transmission. I'm not sure if it's just the very end where the nut thread's on or if the whole thing is bent, but I've noticed a little wobbling in the top shaft that I have in there, so I want to change all of that out. The work to get the top shaft changed out is going to take a little while, more time than installing this ESC, so we're going to go do that first, then install the ESC. And after that, we've still been getting a whole lot of rain recently, but hopefully the weather will be clear enough when I'm done this to go try this thing out and see what kind of times we can get. Maybe we'll finally get some improvements and try out those new gearing options as well. All right, so that wasn't too bad. Got the transmission back in with the new top shaft and the new gearing. I got the 84 tooth spur with a 17 tooth pinion. We'll go over why I went with that gearing in a little while when we install the ESC. If you notice, there's a spacer in between the transmission and the motor plate now. This was an offset top shaft. Basically, it's a little longer. This spacer allows the motor to sit a little bit further in the car to center it more down the center line of the chassis. It was really easy to install, and now we can move on to the ESC. So we're unboxing the DRK. We have some paperwork here with some stickers, the manual, and some gearing recommendations. This is what I was talking about. I have a 3.5 turn motor and they recommend a 1787 gearing. I have an 84 tooth pinion. This would be about a 5.11 gear ratio. With my 84 tooth spur with a 17 tooth pinion, it equals about a 4.9 something gear ratio. So I went with a 17 tooth pinion. If it seems too fast or if I want to go down, I have all the way down to a 15 tooth pinion that I can try out. Really nice packaging. I like the way this little cover is with the Maclan logo and the ESC here. Open it up, everything's nice package. I really like that the wires are already soldered onto the ESC. I have a warning here warning you about the cap pack, but there's more than enough wire here to be able to fit it onto your motor. Get the ESC mounted in. It also comes with a cable to hook it up to a laptop, the fan, which I'm going to install shortly, the receiver cable, and an on-off switch. I'm going to get all these cables plugged up. I'm going to install that fan on there, and we're going to get it mounted in the car before I go ahead and solder the leads to the motor. So that took a little time. I took my time and got the ESC all mounted in the car. Cleaned up the wiring nice and neat. I shortened up these motor leads, soldered on my battery connector, cleaned up the receiver wires, and I also ended up shortening a sensor wire. Because of where I stick the ESC in the motor, the sensor wires I had were way too long and they bunch up. So I went in and cut all the wires and soldered them back together. I think it cleans it up nicely. That way that sensor wire is not sticking out. Took the cap pack and just double-sided taped it to the frame here. It should fit nicely with the battery running here. That space was freed up since I don't have to run that external fan anymore since there's a fan on the DRK ESC. I read a little bit online about being able to download their software onto an Amazon Fire tablet. So I think I'm gonna do that instead of having to lug the laptop out all the time. I'm gonna look into that and start tuning on this ESC and making some passes. Let me know in the comments below if you're interested in seeing a video on how to do that with that software, getting it onto a Fire tablet. I haven't really looked for videos on it yet, so I'm not sure if there are any out there, but if there aren't and people want more in-depth of how to do it, I can go through and make a video on that. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if you can hear it on the roof right now, but it's still raining. And the forecast actually shows 60 to 80% chances of rain every single day this week. So I don't think we're gonna see any running footage in this video. If one day I get back from work and it's not raining, the concrete's dry, I may go out in front of the house and make a couple of hits, and I'll throw some of that footage in this video. But if not, as soon as the rain stops, we're gonna try out this ESC. We're gonna start making some test passes, and hopefully we'll finally get 60 miles an hour. I'm interested in trying this gearing and also a couple of other gearing setups. Like I said, I have all the way down to I think a 15 or 14 tooth pinion. And I'm really excited about tuning with this new ESC. I've read a lot of good things about this thing online, so I have high hopes for it. Everyone says I'll love it, so I'm hoping I do. So if you have any tips for me with the new Maclan DRK ESC, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Hopefully there was some running footage in here to entertain you a little bit. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos on my quest to get this car as fast as possible and help you learn with me along the way. And as always, thanks again for watching. Peace.